Hello, Batavia Mayor Jeff Schielke speaking to you on Friday, June 18th, 2021. And I think today most of my announcements are going to be reference the 4th of July fireworks program, which again this year, after a year's absence last year when we had to stand down because of the pandemic, we are reviving the show. And there's a kind of a philosophical argument going on. Is this the 70th show or the 71st show? Because the show started in 1950. And last year should have been the 70th, but we missed it. So this is the 71st year that we're firing, but we had a missed year last year. And some people think that's interesting to debate whether or not we're on 70 or 71. But as long as we get it fired, I don't really care. As is always the case, Batavia has risen to the occasion, and we have raised most of the money we needed for the show through donations this year. But if you haven't given and you still would like to, please don't hesitate, because we are still in need of additional funding, and we always like to end the show every year with a little bit of money in the bank, so we got a fund to start on for next year's. And as I've said before, the show has always been paid for by public donations for the entire 70 years that the show has been fired. And I think that's a tribute to Batavia and its patriotism and its love of America and the spirit of the community. And it's a tradition we'd like to keep going forth, that we don't use any taxpayer monies to buy fireworks with, that we use all the money is donated by citizens who want to express their appreciation and celebration of the American spirit. So the Fireworks Committee has sent me a few notes they'd like to have me say. And number one, they're very thrilled to be able to once again provide the show, and it will be fired at the usual spot at the Engstrom Park, right across the street of Main Street from Batavia High School and to the rear of the Batavia Fire Station. And there should be plenty of places for people to put out blankets or sit in their car or whatever, either at the Batavia High School parking lots or out in the Batavia High School grass, or specifically in Engstrom Park. Or I know our friends at the Mission Covenant Church always have a number of people gathering on their grounds, and so it's just kind of a very community-friendly situation. And as always the case, we won't be firing the actual show till about 9:30. We wait for it to get dark, and Melrose Fireworks Company is coming out to do it, and they have it all computerized, and so they put the tubes in the ground on the Mooseheart fields out there, and then they one by one push the buttons and fire the show, and it becomes quite an elaborate, one of the better produced and admired shows in the northern part of the state of Illinois. On July 4th, the Fireworks Committee is looking for a club or organization to man the parking lots at Batavia High School, where we use that to do a little fundraising. We charge for every car that comes in there. And between 5 and 9, any legitimate club or organization that can offer volunteers will get a return of 10% of all the parking fees collected for that club's treasury. The amounts will depend on the number of workers who may come from any particular group. A large amount of money is used each year. Of this money is used to pay for the fireworks show, and that comes from the parking. So after the 4th, the check will be mailed out to the organizations whose members helped out in helping with the parking. People who walk to the fields of Engstrom Park or the south side of Batavia High School from 6 to 9 on July 4th are also needed to walk around with collection buckets to see if we can get anybody from the crowd to make a donation. And generally we raise maybe $1,000 or $2,000 a year from that exercise. So again, if anybody would like to volunteer to do that, we could use the folks. And then finally, on Monday morning, July 5th, the Batavia Park District is a little bit short on staff this year, so they've asked if we can come up with some volunteers to help pick up what is left as far as any litter or things that weren't put away the night before. So if you're still able and would like to come on out, we will generally be out there 9-10 o'clock time frame, and we'll be picking up any litter, and we'll have trash containers there to put it all in. So we just need to gather it all up and get it out of there so people can continue to use the park. To those of you who enjoy the free Batavia Fireworks Show, as we call it over the years, we say thank you to Batavia for giving of your time and energies to make sure our show is as successful as it can be. And we thank you for stepping up in advance and offering your services as Batavians so proudly do. The Batavia Fireworks Show, as I said, is 70 years of age. It was begun by the Batavia Fire Department back in 1950 by Chief Bud Richter, and he reported to me and many others that he got the idea for this public show from the late Harold Peterson, who was one of the owners of Batavia Foundry and Machine out at Mallory and First Street. And Harold was a volunteer fireman, and they used to broadcast on the TV and the radio the number of traffic fatalities that occurred over the summer weekends when everybody was out on the road. And Peterson said he thought it would be a good exercise to have the show locally and have a reason for people to stay at home and off the dangerous highways. So that is the reason supposedly we started the show, and certainly with the connection of Dr. Segran from Flag Day in town, and with all the patriotic support that Batavians gave during World War I, World War II, Vietnam, the Middle East conflict, there is a strong degree of community pride and appreciation and honor that we want to pay some tribute to. So that's why this is such a valuable experience. And as I tell folks, the Batavia Police Department tells me that this is by far the largest traffic jam of the year that they have to deal with when the show is over with, and many times it takes 20 minutes to a half hour to get most people cleared out of the site because the traffic backups are so significant. So let us hope we have good weather and we're able to fire the show off, but it will be on July the 4th at 9:30. I'll call it over on West Main Street near Batavia High School. Anybody that lives in close proximity there should be able to see the show. And one other note that's occurred this week that I know that some of our staff is wondering about is that, as you know, last weekend we had a hail event. And I don't know how heavy the hail was. I guess in different parts of town it was a little bit heavier than others. But now we have been besieged by hail counselors, I'll call them. People are coming in and contacting people, and specifically I'm being told a lot of the senior citizens are being called by people who want to come over and inspect their roofs and their gutters and their siding to see if they have any significant hail damage, which time they can consult their insurance company. And I guess we are going to encourage people to be very cautious if you buy yourself into this activity, because we're not sure exactly who all these people are, and some of them may be here to take advantage of some of us. And we've seen this before where people have come in and alleged to be knowledgeable on hail damage when they were just there trying to get people to pay them a fee. So if you really are concerned about hail damage on your house, maybe the best advice is to call your insurance company and ask them to send over an inspector, and I'm sure they would probably give you the tried and true answer of what is going on with your hail. But that has been one of the great issues that's raised its head this week, and one that hopefully will go away. Hopefully we don't have any more severe weather this summertime. But I will be back next week, and next week will be just a few days before the 4th of July fireworks. And so I'll have probably more to report on that scene. Again, I hope you're enjoying the summer. We seem to be coming out in droves, and we had a great turnout this past week for Flag Day, and the Batavia Community Band did an exceptionally good job at the Flag Day concert, and I would hail them because on 4th of July they are going to be the premier entertainment prior to the beginning of the fireworks show. And I know they're in rehearsals right now working on a variety of songs of patriotic nature to play on the 4th of July. So come out, I think they start about 8 o'clock or thereabouts, and they will be, I'm sure if I got that time wrong, I'll have the right time next week. But around that time, they'll be playing their music, and it'll be there right along Main Street, just to the east of the Covenant Church. And bring your chairs and be able to enjoy a very nice evening. So with that, I'll end and wish you all a good week, and stay safe. Thank you.